Hello guys and welcome back to another video on my channel. It is David here. Now today we shall be discussing NASCAR. Now when it comes to NASCAR, what shall we be discussing today? Well, we're going to be grading every single team, every single charter team that has been through the NASCAR races so far, that has been through the 9 to 10 races that we've been through so far. We're going to take a look at each team, where they are in the standings, their average finish, and then I'm going to give them a grade on how I think they've done through the season. Of course, Hendrick Motorsports has done really well because Alex Bowman recently won the race this past week in Richmond, and they'll be heading to Talladega this weekend. So that's going to be very interesting to see. But anyway, guys, let's get this out of the way. Let's start with the first team that I'm going to be grading for the season. And we're going to be starting off with Joe Gibbs Racing. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Joe Gibbs Racing has the drivers are Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, and Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is the first driver we're going to be talking about today. Currently, right now, in the regular season point standings, he is 11th place in the standings. He's had an average finish of 14.1. And considering the fact that Kyle Busch still has not won a race this season, and he only won one race last season, this kind of continue on, and he's probably been the worst performing Joe Gibbs racing car. I mean, the other three are basically locked into the playoffs. Martin Truex Jr. has 2 wins, Christopher Bell has a win, and Denny Hamlin so far ahead in the regular season point standings. He's first in the regular season point standings. So that just really tells you that Kyle Busch hasn't really been performing. So I'm sorry, Kyle Busch. I really like you. You're one of my favorite drivers in NASCAR currently right now, but I gotta give you a C. Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin has done everything this year but win a race. So which is why I can't give him an A+. I just have to give him an A. His average finish is 4.2 through 9 to 10 races, and he's leading the regular season point standings. That is really impressive from the number 11 that is Denny Hamlin. But like I said, I cannot give him the point. I cannot give him an A+. I just gotta give him A. Moving on to Martin Truex Jr., who's second right now in the standings with 2 wins, average finish of 9.0. So not as good as Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin has the best average finish so far through all the NASCAR drivers that have been racing this season. But I'm going to give Martin Truex Jr. A because Martin Truex Jr. has already locked himself assuredly in by getting 2 wins, becoming the first repeat winner in the NASCAR season. So I gotta give Martin Truex Jr. really a good A because Martin Truex Jr. has been very impressive. And then we have Christopher Bell, who's 10th right now in the regular season standings. He has an average finish of 13.2. Christopher Bell came into the NASCAR season and Eric Jones, the past couple years he's been in Joe Gibbs Racing. He's barely made the playoffs or missed out on the playoffs. Christopher Bell's already locked himself in. So Christopher Bell, you already know. Christopher Bell, you're getting an A+. Because you've already locked yourself through. Within the first 3 races, Christopher Bell locked himself into the playoffs. That's just really impressive from Christopher Bell. But this is the reason why Joe Gibbs won him in the team. And he proved that Joe Gibbs so far has been right about his decision to bring him into the team. And that concludes Joe Gibbs Racing. Moving on into Hendrick Motorsports, the team I think that's been doing the best this season besides Joe Gibbs Racing. Starting off with Alex Bowman, the worst performing driver in the regular season standings currently. He just won. So really, if you were looking at wins, it's Chase Elliott. That's the worst performing driver. But Alex Bowman right now is currently 13th in the standings. He has an average finish of 17.1. And I'll be honest, considering the fact that Alex Bowman before this win was really kind of struggling. I mean, most of them were not due to him. It was mostly out of the circumstances. It's not really a decent season for Alex Bowman, so I'm going to give him B-. Chase Elliott, defending champion. I mean, sometimes the defending champions have an off season. I'm pretty sure Kyle Busch had an off season. I mean, look at Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch won the 2019 championship, and look at his 2020 season. So I guess champions can have off seasons or not very good seasons. So in terms of Chase Elliott, I mean, he's 7th right now, currently in the regular season standings. He has an average finish of 13.0, which is the 3rd best out of Hendrick Motorsports cars. I'm going to give him a B because it's been an average season for him. He's been up there running competitive, just hasn't been able to pull through and get that win yet. William Byron, 4th place right now in the regular season standings, the best Hendrick Motorsports running driver right now in the standings. Has an average finish of 11.2, the best average finish in Hendrick Motorsports group. I'm going to give William Byron an A-. A- specifically is saying that William Byron has been up there, and he's already locked himself in with the win at Homestead. But I feel like William Byron could be doing a bit better. But I mean, he's young and he's finally realizing the potential that Hendrick Motorsports saw in him when he was at Cowboys Motorsports and then went to that Junior Motorsports. And then finally we have Kyle Larson, who's right now currently P6 in the standings, has an average finish of 11.8. I mean, everybody expected Kyle Larson to do good, but nobody expected him to do good really this quickly. So considering the fact that he shocked everyone, surprised everyone on how quick and how good he was going to be in this team, I got to give Kyle Larson an A+. He's been, I would probably say, it's close between him and William Byron, but I probably would say he's been the best performing Hendrick Motorsports driver. Even though William Byron has had the best average finish, Kyle Larson has been up there running up front and battling for wins consistently every single week. Moving on into probably what is the worst performing 4-car team this season, Stewart-Haas. Kevin Harvick right now is currently 8th in the standings with an average finish of 11.0. But Kevin Harvick's been putting this team on his back, so I can't give Kevin Harvick anything below a B. So I'm going to give Kevin Harvick a B+, even though B+ really is sounding like a good grade. Kevin Harvick's just been playing on this team and running consistently, besides what happened this past weekend in Richmond. But Kevin Harvick's still a very good driver, the best driver in that Stewart-Haas team, so I'm going to give Kevin Harvick a B+. Eric Almirola, who's currently 27th in the regular season standings, his average finish is a terrible 23.6. Eric Almirola was a playoff driver last season, so this has got to be a C-. I mean, Eric Almirola usually he was very consistent last season. And considering how non-consistent he's been this season, yeah, it's got to be a C-. Briscoe's a rookie. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's right now 28th in the regular season standings, has an average finish of 22.7. So considering he's a rookie, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give him a C. And then Cole Custer, I'm just gonna give Cole Custer a D+, because Cole Custer hasn't been running consistent ever since he's gotten into that Stewart-Haas. I mean, he did win last season, but we all know that was a lucky win for him. So really, has Cole Custer been running that good? Not very much, and not really. Moving on into Penske, Brad Keselowski, regular season standing is 9th place, average finish of 14.0. I'm going to give Brad Keselowski a grade of a B-. I feel like Keselowski was doing a lot better by this time last season. So this is a decent season for Keselowski, but it's not as good as last season was going around this time. Ryan Blaney is finally realizing the potential that Penske saw in him. 5th place in the regular season standings, an average finish of 13.3. I'm going to give Ryan Blaney a A-. Ryan Blaney is finally realizing the potential that Penske saw in him, and I'm really glad to see him doing this good because I believe in Ryan Blaney too. And so that's really why I gotta give him A+. He finally reached his potential. He's running very quickly. He's up front most of the time in most of NASCAR weekends, so I gotta give him A-. 3rd place in the regular season standings, average finish of 8.3, Joey Logano. Joey Logano has already locked himself in, technically, because he won the Bristol Dirt Race. I mean, considering the fact that Joey Logano had, 2 wins around this time last season, it's kind of been an average season for Joey Logano, but I'm going to give Joey Logano the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give him B, even though I don't really like him. So, yeah, that concludes all the 3-car teams that NASCAR has. Now it's time to move into 2-car teams and less. Ganassi. Ganassi is a weird one. Ross Chastain, 24th right now in the regular season standings, average finish of 20.7. Ross Chastain is technically, if you want to say, a rookie when it comes to the NASCAR Cup Series. I mean, in major equipment. So considering the fact that he's been running badly, he's not been running very good in that Chip Ganassi equipment. Meanwhile, Kurt Busch has been running decently. It's got to be a D for Ross Chastain. I'm just disappointed to see a Florida man run that bad. So yeah, Ross Chastain, you're getting a D. Kurt Busch, 15th in the regular season standings. Average finish is 17.4. Been an average season for Kurt Busch, so I'm going to give him a C+. I mean, if he goes out and gets a win before the regular season, I'll probably give him at least a B+ throughout the whole season. But right now, I'm going to give Kurt Busch a C+. Roush, Newman, and Buescher. Newman right now is 19th in the regular season standings with an average finish of 19.8. Newman last season was a down season, I'd probably say, for Roush Fenway Racing. So this has been a decent season for Ryan Newman. So I'm going to give Ryan Newman the C+. And when it comes to his teammate, Chris Buescher, Chris Buescher is 16th right now in the regular season standings with an average finish of 16.9. And I gotta give Chris Buescher a B plus because Chris Buescher has been running a lot better than he was last season. I mean, this is his second full-time season in that Roush car, so he's more suited to it. And he proved it because he was running up front when they were running at Homestead Miami Speedway. So yeah, Chris Buescher, I'm gonna give you a B plus. Richard Petty Motorsports and the number 43 car of Eric Jones. 26 currently right now in the regular season standings. Not running better than their former driver, which was Bubba Wallace, but he actually has a better average finish than Bubba Wallace. He has an average finish of 21.3. Considering Eric Jones was in Joe Gibbs Racing Equipment, and he's been running at least where I think Bubba Wallace was running around last season. I'm gonna give that's average. That's really average seasons. I gotta give Eric Jones a C when it comes to this thing. And then we got 23-11 with Bubba Wallace. 20th in the standings. Has a very good shot at pointing his way in. I don't think he's going to win his way in the way he's been running the past couple of weeks. 21.6 average finish. Considering the equipment that Bubba's in, Bubba's at least in a 4-star equipment if I'm going in NASCAR terms. He should be running a lot better than he is right now, and he should at least add more top 10s than he does right now. So really, that's a C minus, and I'd probably say Eric Jones has been having a better season than Bubba Wallace, considering Eric Jones is running decent in his equipment, and then Bubba Wallace is running subpar in his equipment, which is almost on the level of Joe Gibbs Racing. So yeah, Bubba Wallace has not been running that very good, but that concludes some of the teams. Let's get into the rest of the teams for the NASCAR season. Doherty Racing. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is running 14th right now in the standings. Has an average finish of 13.1. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has been really, really impressive. And JTG, Doherty Equipment, which is, I'd probably say it's about a 3-star team, and they only have one charter because Ryan Preece is running a non-charter team. But Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s streak is going to come to end very soon. But considering the fact that it's been the way this is right now, he's got to get a B. He's got to get a high grade. I'm going to give Ricky Stenhouse Jr. a B plus based off the way he's been running in his equipment. So that concludes Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now we move on into his teammate Ryan Preece, who's running a non-charter team. And considering the fact that he's running a non-charter car and he's 21st, that's really, really impressive. But Ryan Preece was always running decent last season, so I mean, it's kind of a better average finish. He's not running as well as his teammate. So I'm going to give Ryan Preece a C+, but he's still been running very decent for that team. Trackhouse Racing in the number 99 with Daniel Suarez, running 23rd right now in the regular season standings. Has an average finish of 20.3. Daniel Suarez is making sure that equipment runs really, really well. Because I thought that Trackhouse team was going to be like early top 30s, like lower top 25, early top 30 in the standings. But considering he has that team in the 23rd spot, Daniel Suarez is going to get a B in my honest eyes. Richard Childress Racing. Austin Dillon having a very decent season, running 12th in the regular season standings. Has an average finish of 14.3. I'm gonna give Austin Dillon a B grade because this is a season we've all seen before with Austin Dillon. I mean, last season Richard Childress was not really okay. I mean, they had a shot at the end to make trying to make the regular series playoffs at the end, but they ended up not doing it. But yeah, Dillon's been having an average finish. Same with his teammate Tyler Reddick, who's been having a worse average finish than Austin Dillon. I mean, right now he's currently 22nd in standings, and he has an average finish of 19.9. So I'm gonna give Tyler Reddick a B minus. And then we move on into the final team, that is Front Room Motorsports. Michael McDowell obviously has the Daytona 500 winner, so I gotta give Michael McDowell an A. Considering the fact that he won in that equipment, and he's still running pretty decently considering the front row equipment. He's 17th right now in the current regular season standings. He has an average finish of 16.0, so Michael McDowell is going to get A for me. And then Anthony Alfredo, a rookie in the season who replaced the outgoing John Hurt Nemechek in that number 36 car. Anthony Alfredo is running 30th, 31.7 average finish. That's really a D for me because that car should not be running 30th right now in the point standings. That car should be at least battling around top 25, considering where John Hurt Nemechek had it last season. And yeah, Johnny Hunter Nemechek was right to make that decision because ever since Johnny Hunter Nemechek has left that team, Johnny Hunter Nemechek has won 2 Truck Series races for Kyle Busch Motorsports. So that concludes the grades for every single NASCAR driver and in their team and how they've been doing for the first 9 to 10 races. Now it's time to talk about the standings and see how the standings are looking. Truex right now, this is the turn to playoffs. Truex right now obviously is leading because he has 2 wins. Joey Logano, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, and Michael McDowell are all right behind Truex with 1 win. And then we get into the regular season standings where guys haven't won, but it's based off how the regular season standings are going. So Hamlin is in 9th, Elliott is in 10th, Harvick is 11th, Keselowski is in 12th, Kyle Busch is in 13th, Austin Dillon's in 14th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in 15th, and Kurt Busch will be the final driver currently in the NASCAR playoffs. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please smash the like button. Let me know your guys' opinions down in the comments down below. What would you give for most of the drivers I graded here today? And make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications so you know my videos go live. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.